Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Tired.
I had to put a face on.
Look, me too. My grandma said, "Where you going?" I said, "I'm going to the basement."
Okay. I'm going to the other room.
Right. I'm going right to the basement. I seen somebody put something on Instagram the other day. It was like Zoom meetings be like, she was like made up from the top up and she was sitting there in her drawers. I was like, ma'am, really?
I don't even know where to look. I done got fat. Look at that.
You are fine. Still beautiful.
Girl, I can't take it, but thank you. This I'm getting plastic surgery.
Please stop. What
I am.
you been eating?
I've gained from what I got down to.
Oh.
I weighed a little less.
I was having a whole natural hair crisis.
Oh, you want me to take this off?
Listen, my homegirl was like, just put on a wig. I was like, I don't have none. The parts are all, because they all old. I don't have no new ones. So, yeah.
My hair is twisted under here, like in individuals. Okay. So me trying to, like, I had to pin my twist so that I could get this on. Girl, it's so lumpy. You see how lumpy that is? Because my hair is twisted to the side. So I had to camouflage. I was like, I'm not trying to sit on here looking Afrocentric.
Oh my goodness. This was down and this was up in a ponytail. I called my girlfriend. She was like, you look like you like 5 and you've been playing in your mom's makeup. You cute though. I was like, I can't. Stop. This light is so bright.
Oh, mine is right in my face.
It's just so bright. And then you turn it down and then it's not as clear.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever.
Girl, you got a full face out of me.
Listen, because you love me.
I was stomping going up the steps and I don't appreciate wasting this makeup.
Because you definitely gonna wash it off tonight.
As soon as I go back down them steps, I'm gonna be like, wipes. Tub.
Listen. Anyway, I start school next week, so I hope you praying for me. Right. All of that. Do it again. And they talking about these kids probably ain't even gonna go back to school in the fall.
What are you and you wanted a PhD for what?
Just like a life goal for real. But I don't have to pay for it, so that's what really pushed me to get it. So a friend of mine works for a company that's gonna fund me to get my doctorate degree. They were just looking for a sponsor to be able to fund to go to school. And so I just like came in during that time. But I don't necessarily need it for anything. I feel like it's practice-based, so it may help me with the stuff that I want to do with single moms and like finances and stuff like that. Not that I can't do it now, but if I can get more backing, like I'm like, why not? And it's free. And it's only 2 years.
If someone paid for mine, then I probably would, but
oh well, let me go look for some grants, because I've been pushing you PhD for a while. You like, I don't want to go back to school.
I don't have any student loan debt.
You are blessed, because I
don't have any, so that's why I'm not trying to make any more.
Right. I get
Mine is done.
I get it.
I look so fat. I hate it.
Stop.
I do. I look fat. Oh.
You look fine.
I look fat.
Oh my God. Okay. I'm gonna let you have that. If you want to look fat, I'm gonna let you have it.
I can't take it.
Let you have that.
I need diet pills or something.
So this is what I started taking. So Antoine does a lot of personal training. That's the fiance. Mm-hmm. So he does a lot of personal training and like training with athletes. He has started me taking a supplement called CLA, and so it boosts your metabolism. You took it before? Mm-hmm. You ain't like it?
It is nothing that I haven't had before. I think it made my heart race. That's why I stopped taking it.
Oh, okay. I mean, I feel like I'm losing inches. I looked at somebody's Amazon review and it was like by the second bottle they were able to see a lot. But my thing is I just gotta be consistent with it.
How many, you have to take it like 3 times a day, right?
Yeah, you're supposed to take it with every meal.
Yeah. I'm not good about stuff like that.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna see. I don't want to lose a whole lot of weight. I just need to. I got a whole like stomach like a baby sitting on my lap when I sit down.
Oh, me too. I got the resolution drops from TLC.
What's that? What
Um,
do they do?
they're supposed to. It's supposed to be like to curb your appetite suppressant.
Oh, okay.
I have I and I forget to take it. Like I did it the first day, but it's like you take it. You can't drink 15 minutes before, 15 minutes after. I'm not good about stuff like that.
Yeah, too many rules that you got to remember. I started to do that. So one of my girlfriends did like that laser lipo.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna do that, but then I started reading up on it, and
It's a
it's
waste of money.
a lot of treatments, right?
Mm-hmm. I got the that tea. I needed the tea to go to the bathroom because I won't go on my own.
The ISO T,
Mm-hmm.
is it working?
But I got the CBD one,
Oh,
and it's not as strong as the other one. The other one gave me the runs, which is why I stopped taking those teas altogether because I was like, I cannot.
didn't you used to say that about the greens when I had got them to you when I was doing It Works?
No, it was the tea.
Oh, okay.
But this one isn't like that. Like it's not as aggressive at all.
Oh, well, I don't know. I'm just trying to exercise, drink my water.
And I need to get my another case of those and start exercising again.
You can come on Saturday. We doing it every Saturday.
It's no room in here.
Not even in the basement.
That's where my room is.
I know, but I'm saying like it ain't no.
It's barely enough room to do anything. Like,
How is your mom and dad?
got it good.
They doing good with all this stuff that's going on.
Cause they don't go nowhere anyway.
My grandma like it's y'all need to go somewhere. Y'all need to go do something. Nyla, she got all this stuff around the house and she want to watch because I don't do TV for real. So my grandma TV got cable and Nyla be in there on her TV and she like I can't watch TV because Nyla watching TV. I'm like, look, y'all not gonna give me a headache today.
You better get Nyla her own TV.
She got a TV, but it got it's the what's the firebox thing? What is it called? Fire stick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it has the Fire Stick on it. So she'll watch it sometimes. But if she sees a commercial from like some show she wants to watch, if she's watching it with my grandma, then she want to watch that on cable because her TV, my grandma's TV is the only one that has cable. Nyla's TV only has a Fire Stick. I ain't paying for a box on all them TVs.
You need one of them fire sticks that has all the stuff on it.
So it has Netflix and I have Apple TV, but with Apple TV you still gotta pay and subscribe for stuff.
No, it's a guy who does it and it's like cable. Like you pay him $20 a month.
You pay him $20 a month?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, you're gonna have to give me the details to that. Text me or something. All right, are you ready?
No, but all right.
Don't do that. You said I'm the boss today. I was like, oh, I get to be the boss just today because after the live is over, she the boss.
Facts. Facts.
Oh my goodness.
And you can be Dr. Lowe all you want, and I'm still the boss.
Yes, ma'am. All right, let me figure this thing out again.
Where do I look? I don't ever know where to look on these things.
Just you gotta the little mine is a green dot.
So I need to look at the dot.
That's what I would do. Or look at yourself. It don't matter. I don't know.
I don't want to look retarded.
Oh my goodness gracious.
I'm already fat.
Oh my goodness.
How do I get rid of this for this right now?
But can't nobody see that though. But you.
I'm just gonna hold this.
You will not.
Yes, I am. Ooh.
See, they up there talking about that TV right now. You've been on my TV practically all day. Business Leadership Edition. All right, we about to. I did add a title. Why is you? All right, I'm not gonna do this with you this week. Just go live. Go live anyway. Okay, now I need to figure out where to look again. I be looking into so many different screens. I'm gonna just look here. All right, let's see. Hey, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to Conversations with the Clinician. Give me a second. I'm trying to get set up here. All right. All right, please like, share, invite your friends. Welcome to our Leadership and Business Edition. I'm excited. We have some really good stuff to share with you guys today. My mentor is here with us. Keep coming in. All right. Uh-oh, I lost the screen. All right. Hey, it's Ashley, and I'm coming to you today, May 13th, for our Conversations with the Clinician Business and Leadership Edition. I'm going to go ahead and get started. Today, we will be having a conversation with two amazing individuals. They're going to provide us with their expertise on how they've been able to impact mental health through either their business or leadership opportunities in the community. Thank everybody for coming. I hope you attended last week's session. If you didn't, feel free to scroll down my timeline and look into last week. We addressed the Mind, Body, and Soul edition. I have a couple disclaimers before we get started. One, please share and invite your friends so we can have some insightful dialogue about mental health. It's an overly stigmatized topic that needs to be addressed in our community. May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and I was prompted to begin having these conversations this month. They're going to be right here on my Facebook page every Wednesday evening at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Some people were confused about the time, so we're on Eastern Standard Time. We're going to be having conversations. Mark your calendars, tell your friends, and do not miss out on this opportunity to improve your overall mental health. The purpose of Conversations with the Clinician is to provide some candid conversations with mental health professionals that have been somehow impacted by mental health, either directly or indirectly, and to have some very valuable insight. We'll be providing some practical strategies in an effort to decrease the stigma attached to mental health and to improve our overall well-being, as well as providing you all with some valuable resources and tools. So we're not just talking, but we're actually implementing some things into our daily lives to improve how we feel. So as a clinician, it's my responsibility to make sure you all understand the difference between mental health and mental illness. Each and every one of us, even you all that are viewing this live, we all have mental health, just like we have physical health. Mental health is basically a state of our overall well-being, and in which an individual realizes their abilities, their ability to cope with normal stressors in life, their ability to work productively, and to effectively engage within a community. Mental health is also the foundation of our overall well-being, and it helps us to understand how to maneuver through life. Well, what is mental illness? Mental illness, everyone does not have a mental illness. However, mental illness is, it's very common. 1 in 5 individuals that, well, research shows that 1 in 5 individuals have some type of mental illness. And so it's very common. However, it's not talked about. And so that's the purpose of conversations with the clinician. So mental illness is a collection of mental disorders diagnosed by a licensed mental health professional, disorders that may affect our thinking, our mood, or our behaviors. And it also affects our ability to cause significant distress and impaired functioning. So my disclaimer has been given, and without further ado, I will be introducing to you all Miss Tracy Allen, LCSW-C. Tracy Allen is a clinical social worker with over 16 years of experience working with youth and families. She attended Morgan State University and the University of Maryland School of Social Work. Her background includes juvenile justice, school-based therapy, inpatient psych, substance abuse, EAP, and policy. Most of her career has been centered around providing services for families in Baltimore and DC. She currently runs a private practice, Reclaiming Hope LLC, offering therapy services to adults and children. She prides herself on being able to engage in the most difficult families. Ms. Allen believes that you have to really meet people where they are in order to get results. Her creative, non-traditional approach is what drives her success. Her goal is to erase the stigma of mental health treatment. In her downtime, she likes to shop, spend time with her godchildren, and travel. So where can you find Tracy Allen? On social media, Facebook is Tracy Allen. Instagram is Reclaiming Hope LLC. Website is www.reclaimingHopeLLC.com. So Tracy, hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am good. I cannot complain.
Awesome, awesome. So thank you for joining us today on Conversations with a Clinician. So I'll just kind of start about how we met. This is my mentor. I call her Mama Mentor because she always gets me in line all the time, like without a doubt, like get it together. Yes, ma'am. So I met her when I was in graduate school. She was actually one of my supervisors, and kind of took a liking to me. And I'm like, well, you can't get rid of me now. Like, you're in the field, you're in the profession. I'm gonna need you to mentor me. And so she's just really been around throughout my entire journey. And I'm so grateful for her and her knowledge and her wisdom and her insight. And I believe she has some good stuff that she wants to share with us today. All right, so Tracy, what influenced you to begin your career in mental health?
Initially my career started in biology. I wanted to be a doctor and I wanted to go into forensic medicine. Realizing that I didn't like bugs and you had to use maggots to determine time of death. I wasn't going to be able to do it. So I changed my major the end of my sophomore year. So that meant summer courses and 18 credits for 2 semesters for me to catch up. The only thing left was social work, and I was not excited about that because when they presented the option to me, I was like, I don't want to be broke. That was my instant reaction. I remember my professor saying to me, well, Tracy, what do you want to do? And I said, I don't know. I don't want to work with old people. I don't want to work with children, and I don't want to work with drug addicts. She said, so what do you want to do? I don't know, because I didn't sign up for this. I don't want to be a social worker. They gave an assignment for me to have to interview someone, and I interviewed Pat Wilson, who was the director of BCARS at the time. That's the crisis response in Baltimore City. And she gave me an article about a homicidal 4-year-old who kept trying to kill his younger sibling. For the life of me, I could not understand a child that young being that violent, and my interest took off from there. Um, Helping people has always been my thing, but I never thought it would be in this capacity.
Mm-hmm.
So I made it here, and it was steps to get here to my private practice, but I managed to
To make
wiggle
it.
my way through, and that this is where I am now, finally.
Okay. Okay. I can definitely relate to that. So I have a number of degrees and I'm in the process of preparing for my 4th degree actually, but my background was in criminal justice. And so I was working in juvenile justice, loved my job. The psychologist that was actually working in juvenile justice with me at the time, she would always call me in to do groups with the juveniles. And for the life of me, I couldn't figure out like why. Well, I'm not interested in it. I see them all the time, like all day. Like this is my break. You take them, right? And so, but it was almost like I was getting set up for what it is that I was going to do in the future. And so I was good at it. She always called on me. The kids loved me when we were in group. And then I ended up applying to Morgan. Didn't really know what social work was, but everybody said it's what I was doing when I was working in juvenile justice. And so, I kind of landed here almost. So I can definitely relate.
Yes.
So can you tell us about, or can you identify some obstacles that you had to overcome in order to start your current business?
The main thing was fear. My business was actually registered and ready to go in 2017.
Wow. Okay.
And I did nothing with it. I was fearful. I was working a government job. I knew what I was getting paid every 2 weeks. I was comfortable with that good DC money. I was like, listen, I hate the commute, but I'm good. But then it came a point where I was like, all right, I hate the commute. I really hate the commute. I hate the politics. So I went from the first agency in DC to another one. All right, I still hate the commute. I still hate the politics. And then I'm like, man, like I have to figure out. And I'm literally sitting at work one day, looking out of this huge window at work, and I'm like, I need to find something that I can do. Like, what can I do that's my own? Idiot, you have a whole license here. You're licensed in Maryland and DC. Open a private practice. And I'm like, nah. What kept me from it was paperwork. I didn't want to do any of the paperwork. So I got the push. I have an amazing consultant who does all of the legwork for me, because I know if I have to do it, then it's not going to get done.
Okay.
That is one of the best things you can do, is hire somebody to do what you need to do. A&J Consulting. I'm sorry, I got to plug my baby. A&J Consulting.
A&J Consulting.
A&J Consults at gmail.com. So she does all my legwork. I had everything done. I sat on it. 2018 came and I was like, okay, you have to move. And my goal was by my birthday. So I have someone else who does my websites. I had someone do my logo. Like investment. That's another thing. You have to invest in yourself. It was costly. It was very costly. For my clothing that I had with my logo on it, the logo design, my website being built, all of those things. So I did that up until my birthday. And on my birthday, I made it public. Like I had started taking clients in September, but I hadn't made it public until October. And I was like, this is my deadline. So I sat on that gift for a year and did nothing. And then I finally was like, let me do something with it. Best thing I could have ever done. No, it was not easy because insurance.
Insurance is a whole nother beast.
I worked the first 2 months without getting paid.
Wow. Yeah, that's a lot.
But I'm invested. I'm invested in my clients. Like nothing is going to keep me. That's not their problem. That was an issue that I was having. So I worked. But the fear first, the patience when things weren't going the way that I wanted them to go, those were the major 2 obstacles. And trusting that I was going to be good at what I was doing. When you start something fresh and it's yours, it's like, is this going to work? Like, it's so many other agencies out here, so many other people out here. Like, what's going to be the difference about mine?
Right.
But I lead with love and creativity. If we have to sit on the floor, we're gonna sit on the floor. If you want to drink Pepsi and crack sunflower seeds, we are going to drink Pepsi and crack sunflower seeds. My client and I yesterday were literally both cracking sunflower seeds, talking like, this is what we do. If I have to get down to the nitty gritty with you, that's what's gonna
yeah, that's good. Because I mean, in this profession, like, you literally have to, like, you have to meet people where they are. You know what I mean? Like, we're both compassionate, we're both loving, we're both caring, and we have a heart to just help people, really, right? Whatever it is you need help with, if I can do it, I'll do it. But that takes, that's a whole nother mind frame that you have to be able to adopt to meet people where they are. Let's sit on the floor and crack these seeds, right? And through that, you build that connectivity and that relationship and that rapport for them to even be able to open up. So I applaud you for that. You did say something, and I kind of want to dig on it a little bit more. So you said fear, right? And so fear is just that thing. So we go to school, we get these degrees, we have these different experiences, but we still have that fear in our mind, like, can we really do this? Right? So my question to you is, that fear that you seen in yourself, like, what did it take for you to say, you know what, I can do this? Like, I do believe in myself. I can do this. What got you to that point? Like, enough is enough. Was it just
I wasn't happy.
Mm.
I do not knock government jobs because, they are what work for some people. It's not what worked for me. I've worked Maryland state government. I've worked DC government. I've worked private agencies. I've worked a lot of places. As social workers, we tend to hop. We hop from one place to the next because we get burnout. You get a job and you invest in it, and you can't really make the changes. You're tired. You go. The passion for that part of the job, I was in management.
Okay.
So my team was amazing at both agencies, but I don't like feeling boxed in.
Okay.
I'm a very outside the box person. Even in my methods of teaching, when I have to, everything is so you can get it quick and use it.
Right.
And with my staff, I equip them with what they needed, but what I find in government is a lot of times they'll tell you all of the things that are wrong, but won't give you what you need to fix it. And I got tired of that. Working for myself, I get to see my own outcomes. It's not about getting this report done on time or these numbers and what they look like and this population of people and this GPS and these charges and attendance. While I'll still be a part of those things in my private practice, it wasn't working for me in a political aspect.
Gotcha.
So I started listening to, when you stay somewhere, and even like in a relationship, if you're questioning everything about that relationship or that job every single day, and it's a task, like you stop having that thrill is gone, it's time to do something different. I knew I had been sitting on this company here, paying this annual fee to be a registered business in the state of Maryland, and I wasn't doing anything with it. So while I had the opportunity to do it, I jumped on it. So, and it'll be almost 2 years in September, but it has been a process. It has not been easy, but I've had a whole lot of support that has helped. So, anybody wanting to go out on your own, you start slow.
Okay. That's good. Start slow.
Start slow.
That's really good. So I said in last week's session, like, in the aspects of exercise and mental health, like, it's important that we don't set these unrealistic goals and we just do a little at a time, right? So we don't have to go run a marathon. We need to let's just get up out the bed first. You know what I mean? And so starting slow, starting somewhere and taking each, step by step. So that's good. Thank you for that. How do you utilize your creative techniques to heal and promote mental wellness?
I hold no punches.
Listen, throw them.
No, I don't sugarcoat anything.
Right.
And I'm big on accountability. I gave a client an example when we're talking about relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, this pattern, this cycle, I've been in this cycle and I just want to break the cycle and blah, 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 blah. So I sent her 2 pictures.
Mm-hmm.
I said, you want to stay on the Ferris wheel and keep hopping cars, or you going to get off and stand at the ticket booth and watch the Ferris wheel?
Mm.
I said, you've been in every single car on this Ferris wheel and you keep getting back on. Or when are you going to get off and just look at where you've been versus spinning over and over again? Change rides, get on the bumper car, single seat.
That's good.
And she was like, I never thought about it like that. I want to get off. I want to get off. It's like you have to use real life analogies of things that make sense to people. Everybody's seen the Ferris wheel, and it does nothing but spin in a circle. And if you get off, you might end up getting another color car.
Right.
How many times are you going to do that before you get bored? So switch rides, change your way. And I give real analogies. I sent her pictures. Beautiful Ferris wheel. Sent her pictures. Beautiful bumper cars. Which one is going to suit you right now? Knock some of these things out of your life with this bumper car where you can bounce right back. Like, I believe in giving people real things. Like, let's do the real stuff. That textbook is great. That's nice. But I'm not textbook.
Right. I know.
There are, you have your strategies. And I use, in terms of theory, cognitive behavioral theory is my thing. If I can change the way you think, you'll change the way you behave. Solution focused therapy. Okay, you're coming to me. What are you coming here for? Problem solving therapy. Okay, you presented the problem to me. Now what do we do to fix it?
Right.
I give you the ideas. I give you some strength. I give you some insight. You have to move your feet.
That's good. That's good. And I think it's important that you said that, because I think a lot of times when people come to therapy, they think, oh, I'm in therapy and I'm just going to be fixed. But no, you're here and I'm here to provide you with some strategies, with some insight, with some support, some guidance, direction, whatever it is you need. But this is your life we're talking about. So you have to do the real life work.
Right.
I've told clients all the time, like, you see me once, maybe twice a week, but what are you doing the other 5 or 6 days? Right. And so it's work that needs to be done every day, even if it's just a little bit of work, right? That little bit of work is going to get you through the process. So that's good. Next, how do you work with people and you help people in your private practice, but how do you prioritize your own mental health and self-care?
So I leave work at work. It was not easy to do. I used to call myself super social worker. Like, my old staff even got me a shirt that has the S on the chest for super social worker. Love my shirt. But I had to understand that if I've done everything that I could do, if I've given you all the help that I can give, if I've given you all the attention that you needed, I did my part. When people get off their jobs, their accounting jobs, that's it. They don't think about those numbers when they get home.
Right.
They go home and they pick it up the next day. I had to learn to do the same thing. Granted, it's different in private practice because sometimes it's after hours and your clients need you. But for the most part, my clients have learned quickly how to problem solve on their own, or they can wait until the next day and call or schedule an earlier appointment. But my personal time is mine.
Right.
And I make it clear the days that I work and the days that I don't work. If I have something going on, I can't be available.
Yeah.
I lost a friend Monday and I found out Monday. I had clients Tuesday. Some of them didn't even expect to hear from me because they knew. But sometimes you have clients that just make you feel better talking to them. I have an amazing group of clients. So we're laughing and we're talking, and in that moment, I forgot how sad I was, but I was honest. Hey, here's your homework for the day. Here's what I need you to do because I may not be able to get through this whole section.
Right.
And they understand transparency is key. That's one of the biggest keys in healing and developing relationships is being transparent. Yeah. I'm not good today. I know me. I'm not going to be good to you today. So I have to step back. you know, and on my weekends that I'm off. If
Yeah.
somebody texts me, I am quick to say, oh no, not today.
Not today.
Not today. Tuesday morning. Feel free, but not today. But if they're in crisis, that's different.
Yeah.
But my boundaries are mine, and that's at work, that's at home, family issues. If I don't want to do it, I'm not doing it. Being able to say no, Miss Lowe.
Oh, okay. I'm interviewing today. I'm the boss.
You are. You are.
No, I get it though. No is important. And yes, it took me forever to learn it, but I get it now. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And that's leading me into my next question. So everything that, that we did, there's a thing called vicarious trauma. I know you're familiar with it, right? And where we work with people that have been traumatized and we internalize that trauma and kind of take it on. So we like relive it, right? And so knowing that we carry a lot of the burdens or the weight of our clients, how do you release? And so is your release in the keeping the work at work or in setting the boundaries, or how do you release so that you don't carry the negative weight or hold on to the trauma of the clients that you work with?
I write.
You
Some
write like
days,
journal?
and
Okay.
it is not beside me. Well, one of them is, because I believe in. So this is the business journal.
Okay.
Every vision that I have for my business is in this journal.
Okay.
The personal journal is downstairs. I'll write.
Okay.
Coloring. Amazon.
Okay. Come on with these tips.
Because this is what I'll do, because sometimes you have to have that. And if you don't want to order from Amazon, Dollar General, Family Dollar has amazing adult coloring books for cheap.
Okay.
And kids. Walking helps. I can't run, I have a 73-year-old knee. So
Miss
we argue. This knee and we argue. So I can't run, but if I could run, I would. I like sitting in water when it's warm outside and no corona. I like I like to just be at peace.
Right.
Today I sat outside for about 2 hours, just sitting on my steps, just sitting, just taking in some air. Like, I know the things that bring calm to me. I have a tea, tension tamers tea. It's just like whatever I feel I need in that moment. The biggest thing for me though is where my solitude comes and when I take a bath. Lavender oil in my bath. Eucalyptus oil in my bath. Chamomile, lotion, like aromatherapy. That's the biggest thing for me because it helps you unwind. And you can make sprays, do it yourself sprays. That way you invest in your own thing. You take the time to do it, you're learning how to do it, it becomes yours, it's important to you. It's easy too to go to Bath and Body Works and grab one. I keep all of these things because I use them.
Okay. Lavender vanilla. Okay.
Yes. So, it's important. Oh, and there's the tea. Because I drop those in my water. Literally, if I need to feel calm, these are things that I do, that I practice. That's what helps me. You have to find your own create your own list of resources. What works for you?
Okay. That's good. Thank you for that. That's really, really good. So you said two things, and it took me back to last week's session. And so last week we talked about, I don't know if you tuned in or not, but like I said, it was the Mind, Body, and Soul edition. And we talked about the benefits of exercise and mental health, as well as the benefits of journaling and mental health. And you mentioned both of those. And so, last week we were saying, like, just do something as opposed to doing nothing at all. Because if you do nothing at all, you're going to just be in that that Ferris wheel going round and round. So you have to get off the Ferris wheel and actually take the step. And so walking is definitely really good for your mental health, as well as journaling. Like I said, I coined the term, like, I'm just evicting these thoughts out of my mind. And so when you think about an eviction, you're getting put out of somewhere, right? And so these thoughts, they're getting put out of my mind onto the paper. And now this is your new home. You have no more residence in my mind, right? Because I need clear mind. So that was really, really good. Let's see here. How do you encourage others to get over themselves and do the work necessary to start their own healing process?
A lot of times it's confrontation. I
Mm.
confront people about their irrational beliefs. Where when people come to me blaming everybody else for what's going on in their life, they did this, they did that, they did this, he, she, everybody, and I'm listening, and I'll wait, and
Mm-hmm.
what did you do? And usually I get nothing. No, I didn't do anything. They did these things to me.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to them another time, and I'm listening to something they may have said to somebody. And then I start confronting them about their behaviors. Well, here's what I saw. Here's what I noticed. You're placing these blames, but you had a choice. I
Mm-hmm.
am hard on all of my clients because accountable, own your stuff. Your stuff is solely yours.
Yeah.
Own it.
Yeah.
You know, even if it's your own negative thinking, you created that.
Yeah.
You can't blame somebody else for you the way your mind processes things. So let's boost your serotonin. Let's come out of this depression. Find things that make you feel good. That's the benefit of exercise and journaling. Serotonin is your feel-good drug in your brain. It's something that's naturally in you. Some people just have lower levels of it, which causes depression, and that comes through genetics,
Mm-hmm.
trauma, whatever. But there are ways to boost that. Some people need meds, some people don't. But you still have to find something to do to feel better. I
Mm-hmm.
am big on accountability. I will put you to that whiteboard quick. We're going to draw it out. We're going to make a chart. We're going to do something. I need you to see it.
Right.
Most people can hear you say it, but when they see it, it's something different.
It's something different. That's good. Thank you for that. What does mental well-being mean to you?
So, mental well being to me encompasses everything. When you are aware of self, aware of what feels good, aware of your boundaries, aware of situations and how they affect you, and being able to control all of those things. So if you know you're going around a group of people and those are people that you really have a hard time relating to, or it's a toxic group of people, what do you do to prepare yourself before you get there? What are you doing to decompress when you leave? It's
Mm.
having that awareness of yourself and how things affect you and how you put your skills together to kind of release those things or resolve those things within yourself. But being mentally well allows you to do that. Mental illness sometimes interferes with your ability to put yourself first
Yeah.
and to heal yourself
Yeah.
and to implement the necessary things to set boundaries. And instead, you spread yourself so thin because you're afraid to say no, or you're a big people pleaser and you want to make everybody happy except for yourself.
That's
Being mentally well, you know that you can't make everybody else happy, and yourself, you come first.
right. That's right. That's good. That's good. I'm gonna have to go back and absorb all of that. That was really good. And lastly, how do you plan to continue bringing awareness to mental health in your community and decrease the stigma attached to mental health?
Um, Doing my part with my clients, advocating where I can, getting in on speaking engagements where I can, making people comfortable with the idea of coming to therapy. For some reason, people think that the minute you step into a therapist's office, like fireworks shoot off and everybody knows that you're going to therapy.
Right.
Like, but people are fine going to their doctor, and you could be going to your doctor for something that has a stigma, like HIV or hepatitis or herpes, but you go.
Right.
Why can't you go to therapy? Like, there's nothing, I promise you, there's no sign outside of my office that says this person's crazy and they're coming to therapy. Like,
Right.
no such thing as crazy. The crazy thing is when you don't help yourself. Like, help yourself. Like, the biggest thing you can do is understand that you are the better person when you invest in yourself to heal yourself. Like,
Absolutely.
that's the only thing that I can say. Help yourself, heal yourself.
Absolutely. That's good. That's good. Well, thank you so much,
You're
Tracy.
welcome.
Do you have any last words of wisdom or any other, you've given a list of practical tools and I was taking notes. But do you have anything else that you would like to share with the people viewing today?
The last thing that I want to say is that I am so very proud of you.
Thank you.
Um, I have watched you grow from intern to clinician to boss lady, and I just sit back and I grin. Like, this is one of the best things that I could have ever seen is you in your own element doing your own thing.
Thank you.
Um, I need you to keep at that.
Yes, ma'am.
I need you, world, everybody. She will be going to pursue her PhD. Hold her accountable. There's no backing out now because I've told everybody.
I see.
Yes, I did. She
I,
will be Dr. Lowe.
I see.
But if you are looking for me on social media, at Reclaiming Hope LLC on Facebook and Instagram, and www.reclaimingHopeLLC.com.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Miss Allen.
You're welcome.
Appreciate you, and we will talk soon.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. That was amazing. Tracy Allen, LCSW-C. She's my mentor, but I call her my mama mentor. She's so dope, y'all. Like all the strategies that she left, I will definitely be typing something up and kind of giving you guys some practical tools, because this is not just for us to have conversations, right? This doesn't replace therapy either. So it's about debunking the myth and the stigma that's attached to mental illness and helping us to learn ways to become mentally healthy, right? Our mental health is important. We have to prioritize ourselves. And so now we are bringing in our second guest. Let's see here. Are you there? Can you hear me? Tyrone?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Hello.
Hey, what's going on?
Nothing much. How are you, Mr. Roper?
I'm good. What's up, cuz?
Awesome. This is my cousin, everybody, Tyrone Roper. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce you. If you guys just logged in, please share, please like, please invite friends. We're trying to debunk the myth of mental illness and mental health and just start having those important conversations. Again, this is our business and leadership edition of Conversations with a Clinician. So we have Tyrone Roper. Tyrone is originally from Park Hill in Denver, Colorado. He's lived in Baltimore for more than 20 years. He considers the Charm City a second home for himself and his family. He's married with 2 adult children. Tyrone is currently the director for the University of Maryland, Baltimore's Community Engagement Center, and enjoys working with his neighbors, or working with the neighbors in the community. He earned his bachelor's degree in human services from Sojourner Douglas College and touts this as one of the greatest academic experiences. He earned his MSW from Morgan State University. Woo woo. Prior to joining the University of Maryland, Baltimore, he served as the chief of staff for the Mayor's Office of Criminal Justice. Before his tenure at City Hall, Tyrone spent nearly 10 years working with the Behavioral Health Systems Baltimore as the Director of Special Populations. His experience also includes direct services as he worked for a community-based behavioral health agency, as well as Baltimore City Public Schools. Tyrone holds extensive experience, skills, and knowledge in organizational development, transformational planning, and sound management and leadership. Tyrone Roper. Hey,
All right.
hey.
I got send me a cash app so I can pay you for those good kind words.
Listen, I mean, it is who you are, right? It's our leadership. That's it.
Yeah. It's a culmination of experiences. It really is.
Yes.
Yeah. Good to see you.
Yes. All right. So I have a couple of questions for you, Mr. Roper, on your leadership experience and how mental health has been impacted through that. So I'm going to go ahead with the first question is, who is Tyrone Roper currently, and who was Tyrone? So what's your transformational process look like? And please be real, authentic, and transparent.
Yeah, indeed, absolutely. So who is Tyrone currently? Evolving.
Okay.
And who was Tyrone? Evolved, right? So indeed, it's a process, right? I think that you think about the movie Transformers and how they can instantaneously kind of transform to a robot and back to an automobile. But unfortunately in life, it doesn't work that way, right? You kind of go through your experiences, and hopefully you have some supports to be able to catch you when you fall and make mistakes. And then if you have a level, I'm not going to say high, I'm not going to say low, but a level of resiliency that kind of helps you to continue to push through whatever those life changes are, that's helpful. I have been extremely fortunate. God has truly found great favor upon me and continues to find favor upon me, because I have a number of folks that I can really kind of lean on, right? And through my experiences. So I think about growing up, right? So Park Hill, born and raised, right? 2890 Elm Street. So that's where I'm from. And I tell folks, even here in Baltimore, right? I tell people, nothing changes about the hood. I don't care where you go. Nothing changes about the hood but the zip code. You can be in Tupelo, Mississippi, and trust me, they got a hood. And I tell you, Eric B. said it best, it ain't where you're from, it's where you're at. So for me, life, I just had to learn and kind of had to endure and go through things. So early on in life, I had a fight in elementary school. I'll never forget it. I went to Hallett Elementary. So I got in a fight on the play area. And as a result of this fight, I was put in special education, right? So a white social worker had an opportunity to sit down with me because I got in a fight. And she resolved on the fact that I had a learning disability because I got in a fight. Love my mom dearly, but she just didn't have enough tools and information to be able to push back and really contest what they were trying to impose upon me as a young man. So I was placed in special education. So I was in special ed through elementary, middle school, and part of my high school. So my defense mechanism became fighting, right? So I've always known how to go from the shoulders well, and it was just because of those life experiences. So to protect myself from being laughed at, made fun of because I was in special ed, I would find myself using fists to keep people from making fun of me. So inevitably what that did for me is it put me in a place where even today, I'm mindful of this, right? Because there's still some remnants of self-doubt, of really questioning what your competency is and how knowledgeable you are in certain spaces. So even today, when I'm at certain tables, one thing I always say to myself is I'll only not know something one time, right? So you won't see me at a table again and not know the same information. I'll make sure that whenever I'm at a table, it's incumbent upon me to be able to show up because of what I've been through and how I've matriculated through life. I tell my kids this, to talk to my son frequently. And so for me, I can afford to have a bad day, right? So I can't afford to be at the table and not show up because there are stigmas that are just kind of innate that are applied to me because of who I am. And I find myself really working hard to make sure that whenever I'm at any space, I'm competent enough to be able to speak and add value to discussions. And I'm wise enough to know that when I don't know enough, not to say anything, because there's been some experiences as well that I've went through that are pretty painful that have caused me to find great value in bridling my tongue.
That was good. That was a mouthful, but that was really good. So it sounds like you used that thing that was against you, that special education, right? You fought with the fist, and then you said, okay, I have to shift this. And then the shifting, your education and your leadership opportunities. So that's really, really good. In therapy, that's coming from a strengths perspective, right? Yep. What strengths do you have? Right. So Tyrone, what influenced you to begin a career in leadership?
So interesting, it's interesting the way you pose it. So I don't see leadership as a career, right? Okay. I think that most folks pursue a career in management with the belief that they are obtaining a leadership position. So I look at management as a skill set, right? So management is a skill set. Leadership's not a skill set; it's an attribute. So you can be a manager, not be a leader. But you can also be a leader, not be a manager, right? Okay. So one's a skill set, one's an attribute. I don't know. I think that, again, for me, I was mindful of where I came from, right? And my development. So the type of leader that I am is one where I'm intentional about growing people. right? I've always known and believed and heard that one of the greatest demonstrations or examples of identifying a great leader is how those that are under him or her, how they're growing, right? So I'm real big on coaching. I'm real big on sitting down with staff, developing professional development plans, really hearing about from them what they would like to be able to do. And I also had to learn that, you know, the in this process, because I've been so eager and zealous to grow professionally, right? But my lens was kind of misguided because my lens was to grow in position, right? So that I can say I am such and such, right? Lacking an enormous amount of competencies and skills, but yet I can say that I'm such and such, right? And you'll get exposed, right? I think that you'll move so far, and at some point you'll get exposed because you truly lack certain competencies and knowledge. So for me, I've been very intentional about my learning process and really getting connected with folks that will support me. So when I think about leadership, again, leadership, when I think about leadership, so a follower, what a follower adds to an organization or a business is an addition, right? But when you bring someone on that has that leadership attribute, what they bring is multiplication. So that then can be intimidating to someone in leadership, in management, if they're bringing someone on board that has the attribute of leadership. Because this person is going to start asking questions. What is it that I need to do to be able to grow? I'm eager to be able to learn this skill set. How can I learn more about this particular body of work within the agency, right? So when you hear people asking those questions, their lens isn't on sustainability. A follower is going to ask those questions of you where they're saying, man, I just want to make sure, you know, that I'm able to get a job. I can keep this paycheck coming. Their focus is on maintaining, sustaining where they are, but not a leader. So the leader's push is, it's not about sustainability because I'm trusting enough in what God has poured into me that I'm still marketable wherever I can go. So my lens is not about sustainability. My lens is about how can I get myself in spaces where I can grow in certain competencies, right? And then that then strengthens my ability to really kind of move and shift around because I now have a plethora of capacities that I can pull from, right? So that's one of the things that I'll never forget that was taught to me is that, you know, a follower brings addition to a company and a leader brings multiplication. And you have to know how to manage those two.
That's good. That's really good. So Tyrone, can you tell us about any obstacles, like an obstacle that you had to overcome on your professional journey?
Ego.
Okay,
Ego.
tell
I
us.
got to tell you, I think for me, that was one of the most difficult things is because I had always found myself in a space where I wanted to prove that I was knowledgeable about a certain item, right? I found myself speaking when I shouldn't speak because I didn't know enough, right? But part of me felt like I didn't want to be left behind because I was so eager, right? And being eager is great, but misguided eagerness is a great downfall if you don't have supports around you. So an example I'll give real quick is I'll never forget, I had transitioned to, prior to the Affordable Care Act, so when that hit, many of the states moved towards merging your mental health service lines and your addiction service lines, so it would become behavioral health, right? So when that began to happen, I was managing an integrated program where I had to quickly learn both systems. So I had to understand the addiction system and the mental health system and the billable mechanisms that connects the two, right? And how you bill for those. So I was at the table and I'll never forget, you have all these people, it's about 15 people around this table. And you got this little black special education boy sitting at this table. And I spoke, and I'll never forget, my supervisor was a white lady and I misspoke. Didn't make sense. And she takes her hand and she slams it on the table and she points and she says, that's your problem. You don't listen, right? So that bubbled. So all my ego, everything else quickly bubbled up.
Oh, wow.
And I said to myself, you got an option here. You can either respond or react, right? So I didn't say anything. And I could have absolutely tucked my tail, walked off the job. Don't nobody embarrass me like that. How dare you disrespect me and all of that. But I had already been through too much, right? I had already been through too much where I learned enough about myself to know I'm no one's running mate. You're not getting ready to have me tuck my tail and run away, right? So I sat on that for some time. And the reality is the learning opportunity had nothing to do with her. While she spoke the way she spoke, I had to have enough within myself to be able to say, you got to be able to pull some nuggets from this experience.
Yeah.
Right? You got to be able to be humble enough to know you were incorrect. Even though her reaction wasn't appropriate, that's neither here nor there, because I can only control what Tyrone controls.
Yes.
So I had to really learn how to manage my ego. And that was one of the greatest starting places for me to be able to do that.
That's good. So you said something, and I just want you to touch on it a little bit more, because I think it's something that's very important when it comes to our overall mental health. You said you had to make a decision on whether or not you wanted to respond or react. Break those two elements down. What does it mean to respond, and then what does it mean to react?
Right. So there's the connotation behind the two. Right. So generally, when someone reacts to a situation, it's just that they tend to become very animated, emotive, and in most instances, very uncontrolled. Right. So I've reacted to situations younger, right? Absolutely.
Yeah,
right. Don't you ever in your life, are you crazy? Don't you ever, right? You know, so but the result and what I received from that wasn't beneficial to me. Because at the end of the day, as a man, what I now know is that helps support whatever the belief is about me as a person anyway. So through mentorship of all hues, right? Of all hues, I have mentors. And I've had to learn how to respond. And responding doesn't mean that you do it immediately either, right? Because you have to have a level of emotional intelligence to have enough self-awareness to know now is not the time for me to have this conversation.
Yes.
I'm gonna come back, right? Because I don't want to go back to the penitentiary. So
yes.
you can say all of that, right? You can say all that stuff, right? But it's just amazing how God will send you through these courses and experiences in life where you really can pull from those experiences. So for me, reacting to a situation is reacting in a way where it's uncontrolled. It's unbeneficial to yourself, right?
That's good.
Responding is a thoughtful response where I can sit back and process exactly what just occurred, and I can sit on it for a little bit. You know, it doesn't mean that I have to do it immediately.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good. So I knew the difference, but I wanted to get it in your words because a lot of times, especially with a lot of my clients that deal with anger and things of that sort, they react, right? And so you react immediately. You don't think it through. You don't think about what the consequences are or the outcomes or how it's going to affect anyone else that's attached to you or the situation. And so just breaking, the response or the reaction down, I felt like that was necessary. So can you tell us, is there anything that you had to heal from in order to like sustain your leadership opportunities or leadership position?
I would say that there's a number of things I'm continuing to heal from, still in the process, right?
Okay.
One is just forgiveness, right? And it's really self-forgiveness. I had to go through a process where I had to stop comparing out and looking at where some folks are chronologically based to where I am. And and I had to stop doing that, right? And truly trust that God has me exactly where I need to be. But I couldn't get there alone, right? I really couldn't get there alone. And I continue to say this again, how important it is to be able to have personal and professional mentors, right? I have a number, and many of them I've shared before. John Kamak, Marco Clark, Kevin Brooks, Pastor Dion from a church. I think those are real solid people that I can really always glean some information from them and being okay with not knowing everything.
Got you. That's good. Thank you for that. So Tyrone, have you ever, whether directly or indirectly, experienced someone that has had a mental illness? And if so, how has it impacted your life?
So yes, I've experienced someone that's had a mental illness. It's heightened my awareness to it, right? And the severity of it, that it's real.
Mm-hmm.
I think that because I've done direct services, right? I understand what that looks like.
Mm-hmm.
I understand what folks go through. I think that how it's impacted me, it has created a level of kind of advocacy within me
Mm-hmm.
when I'm in any space,
Mm-hmm.
where I have a level of sensitivity and empathy to really understand what people go through. Because when we think about mental illness, generally we think about folks that we serve.
Yeah.
But mental illness still arrives at places where you'll have someone next to you in a professional meeting.
Absolutely.
And being attentive to that. So I have a level of awareness to those people that are experiencing mental illnesses.
Absolutely. That's good. So overall, can you tell us what mental well-being means to you?
Mental well-being, I would first say that it is having a high level of just emotional intelligence, self-awareness, having intentional mechanisms in place that you can lean on for when you find yourself in a particular headspace, I'll say.
Okay.
That's how I would define, a mental wellness.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. So how do you plan to bring awareness to mental health in your community to bring about healing? And so when you think about mental illness, there's something that's going on that's affecting the way people think or they behave or their emotions, all of that. And when you think about mental health, it's you having the ability to live a productive life, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so what do you plan to do to bring awareness?
So what I'm doing, right? So when you think about bringing awareness, it can, and it does look different ways.
Mm-hmm.
When you think about anything under the behavioral health umbrella, those that are in those spaces, I think that it is incumbent upon us to really inherit the position of advocate, right?
Mm-hmm.
Either a direct practitioner or someone with an administration like myself, where I'm not serving people directly, but some of the systems and processes that are being set up impact them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So and being okay with confronting professionals that say things inappropriately or say things unknowingly, right? Because there's a learning process that has to happen as well.
Mm-hmm.
So when I hear folks at the table that will say things that is that particular nomenclature is offensive and condescending, then it is appropriate to correct that person. Not there, right? It's
Right.
about doing it tactfully.
Yes.
So pulling them to the side and say, hey, just want to just make sure you're clear around when you reference a particular population, this is what's appropriate, right? This is what's respectful.
Gotcha.
So that's how I bring awareness. It's really about being intentional about addressing stigmas when they rear their head.
Gotcha. That's good. Thank you for that. All right, Tyrone. So that pretty much wraps it up. Thank you. Do you have any last words of wisdom or tools or strategies that you would like to share with the listeners?
I would just go back to what I just said. I really challenge everybody to learn about what mental illness is and to be that advocate. Because I got to tell you, there's young children right now in school that don't have anyone to speak up on their behalf. And there's tables that some of you are at where you do have the ability to correct language and ensure that young and old people are getting the supports and services they need.
Awesome. Awesome. That was amazing. Thank you so much.
Welcome. You're welcome.
I appreciate it. I'll see you soon.
All right. Love you. Peace.
All right. Love you too. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in to this week's edition of Conversations with a Clinician, our business and leadership edition. Next week, May the 20th, which is next Wednesday at 8:30 p.m., we will be having our relationship and finance edition. Now, listen, I know I say it every week, but you don't want to miss next week. Like, next week is some phenomenal, they're actually both social workers, but phenomenal. One does a lot of work on relationships. One does a lot of work around finances. You do not want to miss this. do not forget this Saturday to join us for our midday grind. If you missed it last week, you still got an opportunity to do it this week. So this Saturday at 12:30 p.m., you can join us, sign up on Eventbrite, or you can send me a message in Messenger, and I'll go ahead and send you the Eventbrite link, as well as journaling. So you heard Miss Allen say, she journals. She has her business journal. She has her personal journal. And so it's important that you learn how to journal. And so myself, as well as Bria McCormick, she was on last week for the Mind, Body, and Soul edition. We are going to be doing journaling workshops. You can also sign up for that on Eventbrite. It's going to be this Saturday and every Saturday throughout the remainder of May at 10:30 a.m. Sign up on Eventbrite. It's the right kind of healing, not right, but right, like you writing down. So the right kind of healing. Like I said, it's on Eventbrite. DM me, sign up on Eventbrite. We are looking forward to having you all. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please share, please like, please send me an inbox and let me know if you would like to see some other type of edition or if you're interested in interviewing. So I pray that you all are blessed and be safe out here as these states are opening up and all this different stuff is going on. Me and my house, we gonna be in the house. Me and my family, we gonna be in the house. But nonetheless, I hope you all enjoyed it. And I will see you next Wednesday. Peace.